to another vidIQ live stream where we review your channels. I'm Dan. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to be looking at all kinds of channels, and you're going to be able to submit yours. In fact, you can do so right now using the forms below. We're going to explain a little bit how those work, but if you're not new here, you already know the drill. We clear the form every single week, so if you submitted last week, but you didn't do it this week, you're going to need to do it again because we're going to get into random selection. Other than that, thank you for being here. Hopefully the music's not too loud. Let's invite Rob, because I ran out of things to say. Rob, please add things to say.
Hey everybody, welcome everybody once again to vidIQ. Dan, I know in advance that you were going to do a fantastic hosting job this week. And as the great JR wrestling commentator often said throughout his many years on the Monday Night Raw, we're getting to a time in the YouTube year when business is about to pick up. Ad revenues are up. Everybody's making content, including ourselves, and we can't wait to offer you the feedback that you need to take your channel to the next level. And that just leaves me with one final thing to do, Dan, before we get into this. Put me on full screen, please. We're indeed live.
Now,
ready to go.
Everybody behind you knows you're live. All right. So, I did mention a second ago, we're going to explain how this works. For anybody who's new, as this is going, go ahead and give us a little raised hand emoji. Is this your first time joining us for a vidIQ live stream? If it is, while you're raising your hand, you also want to pay attention to this.
Welcome to the vidIQ channel reviews live stream. Simply fill in the correct form in the video description and your channel will be considered for review during a live stream. Channel reviews are free, so no need to send us a super chat, and don't spam us in the live chat. We'll ignore it and you may be put in timeout. If you need a channel audit right now, make sure to check out the vidIQ Coach AI tool that will help you with strategies, ideas, titles, scripts. Link in the description. It's a game changer. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience and passion as fellow creators. Thank you to all of our moderators who help us out on the live stream every week. You know who you are. Give us a like if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and share it with like-minded fellow creators. All right, let's get started.
I started a poll just now, so if it's your first live stream, you can vote on that too. We're actually really curious. It's usually about 50-50, 50 new people and 50 people who have been here before, and that's it, 100 of you. All right, Rob, are you ready?
I am ready, Dan. Spectacular analytics there.
Yeah, no problem. I'm really good at data analytics. So we're looking at the first channel who submitted on the form this week. The form being the one that's not about gaming channels. We'll look at the first gaming one in a moment. But right now we're looking at Cookin Cars. 246 subscribers, over 100 videos as of recently, not quite monetized just yet. Rob, first initial thoughts.
Yeah, so obviously you hope that this would be a channel about throwing car parts onto a grill and then eating them, given the channel name. I'm somewhat disappointed that it's not, but I will endeavor to continue on with this audit. How many subscribers do they have? Can I just confirm that as I scrutinize the subscriber counts versus view counts, which are generally very, very healthy.
They are leaning into your theory, by the way. I mean, they got
in the channel banner, yeah. Okay. So maybe there is a bit more to this, because you look at some of the
engine is the grill. They cook eggs and stuff on the hot engine of the car. That's probably what it is.
Are you being serious?
No, I'm not being.
See, I'm so gullible.
I just believe what he was saying. Open. There's probably hot dogs.
But it says cars and coffee on the thumbnails as well, and that was curious as well. What does that mean? What is cars and coffee a thing? I'm not familiar with this term.
Seinfeld show, comedians and cars.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah. I'm wondering if that could be a little bit of a distraction on some of these thumbnails. It doesn't seem to be so far, given the view counts. In fact, the car and coffee ones probably have more views than the others, actually, when I look at this. So that series is working well. Thumbnails are a little bit of a mixed bag. Some of them look as if they're from like actual TV programs, like all of the ones of the Fiat 500. They look pretty cool. Whereas the other ones are a bit more chaotic because presumably at meets of some kind, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You're showing that you're part of community, which is great. I love the fact that they've removed their green text on thumbnails from earlier. That was a smart move. In general, Dan, as a channel that's 200 subscribers, I think they're growing nicely with good channel focus and pretty decent thumbnails. I haven't really looked at the titles yet, but let's let you weigh in for a little bit. What have you got to say?
I was looking at the latest video here, which is performing really well by comparison. Like when you look at the last 8 videos, it's almost 600 views. Full tour of Kit, Ultimate Knight Rider fan car. The thumbnail's nice and clean. The topic is nice and clean. I know exactly what I'm going to get, and it is some nostalgia there as well. A lot of fans of the show will immediately recognize this car. So it raises the question: like, are there more conventions? Like, can you go to one where people have rebuilt the Starsky and Hutch car? Like different cars from TV shows, movies, DeLoreans. Like, that could be a really good way to get this channel a little more on the map if they can find more enthusiasts that rebuild, classic cars from classic media. That's just one idea. Let's click on popular though. Okay, the most popular videos of 2023 Ford Escape ST versus Explorer. So when I see this, I think
Definitely
the title's fine. Yeah, the title's fine, especially if I'm like shopping for these cars and I want a comparison. This is probably the first video I would click on. But it is wildly different than the other videos here. I have to admit.
It is.
It served a totally different audience, in my opinion. This to me feels like something I would watch if I was shopping for one of these cars, whereas the other videos really feel like they're for enthusiasts. And that's not a bad thing. Both are valid, but it does feel like 2 different channels when you look side by side here.
Yeah, it's like a consumer video with search intent and a broad audience versus the hardcore enthusiast petrol heads content.
Yeah.
Where you get less views, but you get a much stronger community over a longer period of time.
I think.
I was going to say just as well with the Knight Rider one, Dan. Like, it's performing well. I do worry a little bit if this is again taking them out, a little bit out of their regular audience, and if this one potentially goes a little viral, will they be able to sustain that with a Batmobile and then like other famous vehicles from TV and film? Because any audience watching that is going to have certain expectations, and if you go back to your events meet stuff, and it might be difficult. I mean, that looks cool.
It's so cool. Let's
get a DeLorean in there. Let's get the Back to the Future car if you can source one from somewhere.
I'm such a nerd. I've always wanted one of these.
Hey, Dan.
Hey.
Why are you driving at 88 miles per hour? Is that how he sounded? I can't remember.
So that is a good point. Although it does feel like a similar vibe because it's a modded car at the end of the day. And I think that what I was going to say is if you want to do reviews of stuff, if you're looking to kind of reach out to an audience that might want to watch you from search, you can review things, but I don't think it's like current vehicles. I think it's like mods for popular cars. I think that is what a lot of people would tune in for, and you'd still kind of maintain that audience that would want to watch you kind of touring these different car shows and showing off all these different vehicles. I also want to talk about packaging on another video. Spooky Halloween photo shoot in a graveyard. And when you let the video play, that looks spooky. Looks pretty cool. The thumbnail does not scream spooky to me.
True.
It kind of looks like someone got held hostage in one of your car videos. And they're just kind of like, hey, I think you looks like you're in a place that could have made for a good thumbnail, but then you chose like a really zoomed out photo of a person standing next to a car. There's so much negative space everywhere. You really got to think about packaging because the Knight Rider one's like perfect. It resonates immediately. Whereas this, I kind of just looks really, I don't know, basic. Like if I were scrolling through YouTube and I saw this, I would think that it wasn't a thumbnail at all. It was just a still from the video. So something to keep in mind with all of your, videos is you got to package them to where it makes sense. So people can look at the thumbnail and go, oh, I recognize that. Or, oh, I know what I'm getting when I click this video.
One final point on the Knight Rider one as well, Dan, is that when you clicked into it, you got those nostalgic feels almost immediately.
Yeah.
Because it drove into the lot and you could see all of the dashboard and stuff immediately. And it's like, yeah, I'm in the right place. This is a video I want to watch. And so I'd encourage a creator to do that more. If they're going to promise something in the thumbnail and a title, and do make sure to deliver after viewer clicks.
Absolutely. So that was our first channel, Cookin Cars. Thank you so much for submitting, and best of luck.
Can I mention at this point, Dan, as you move on to our first gaming channel, we will be taking super chats. If you are new throughout this live stream, we will be taking super chats for questions, but not channel audits. You'll figure it out later on in the next 20 minutes to half an hour when we get to that point. I just want to remind everybody.
Someone will ask for a channel review via super chat.
They will.
We'll have to let them down easy.
That is guaranteed.
All right. The next channel is FancyReaper. This is our first gaming channel. We do have two forms. One of them is exclusive to gaming channels because there are just so many of you here. Welcome, gaming channels. And this was the first one to submit. So 64 subscribers, even more videos than the last channel we just looked at. So progress for this channel, I would assume they feel is a bit slow. It's not probably going the way they would love. Their most popular video has 131 views. So what is going on with this channel? Why is it not quite working out for them? And as we look through, I think what's kind of hitting me is the packaging on these videos doesn't say much. I mean that quite literally. We have some really short titles here, and short titles aren't a bad thing. It's just they're short in terms of the idea behind the video as well. One night to go. You got to give me a little bit more than that, especially with such a saturated game like Five Nights. I know the movie came out, so it's kind of like gotten this extra push now. Everyone's thinking about it again. So great time to be playing it, especially a month ago. But it's not really like hitting home. I think if we were to look up like Five Nights gameplay and we were to kind of see what's going on in the last few months, these videos, under a year old. Well, this one's 7 years old. Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. So this is like someone giving like an actual bit of a guide, full gameplay walkthrough. Let's see if we can find a more relevant one here. Playing Five Nights at Freddy's Plus was a mistake. So I understand this channel is a lot larger than you, but I'm already getting more out of this title and thumbnail than the video we looked at on the Hero channel, because playing Five Nights at Freddy's Plus was a mistake is an opinion. It's like it's a statement that you're making. Like, this was a mistake, and the thumbnail is supporting that. It looks like it's not going well for the creator. That's kind of what I mean when I say the title and thumbnail we saw on this channel, it was just light on ideas. It just didn't feel like a lot was going to happen. One Night to Go isn't very dramatic, but the other thumbnail and title we just looked at, a lot more dramatic. And I think when it comes to horror videos, you really need to be like turning up the drama. What happened in the video? Why should I watch you over all the other creators that are making videos on this?
First of all, that second thumbnail is super creepy to me. And when you mouse over it, Dan, it looks like a terrifying game as well with those hands. This creator is definitely going for less is more with the titles, which is kind of a good, bad place to be, if you know what I mean. Like, you can improve your titling structure by just making the titles a little more complex. Usually it's the other way around. Everything's too complicated and you got to try and simplify everything. So as you said, Dan, a little bit more of a show opportunity in the thumbnails rather than brief, vague telling in the titles. This company is lethal. I'm a demo puppy. Should I do the sixth night? I mean, a lot of these titles, I think you could definitely use if you are a big creator with a huge audience who's very much into the branding of your content. But with a relatively small channel and a relatively small audience, I think it's going to take a lot more to convince somebody to click on the videos. And just generally speaking, but this is a very general observation, you are more likely to get discovered when you're a small channel, a very, very small channel, when you have better metadata. Now, that's not to say that your video should be search intent and that is it. But when YouTube doesn't have a lot of viewer information about your content, then it has to rely more on the metadata. And you're probably just not giving yourself enough of an opportunity here. Even with the Let's Play ones, which was Res Evil 4, the titles just didn't have anything in them whatsoever. Now, granted, they are a few months ago, so if we go to the most recent stuff, they are trying to really start to work on their thumbnails, which is good, and we all know that horror thumbnails are particularly difficult to create because of a dark atmosphere. It can very much blend in versus the dark mode that we have here. Let's have a look at the Gmod horror map. Gmod, what is it? That's a game where you can add, where it's heavily modifiable, right?
Yeah.
So I think you could have done more with a title there. Again, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, but
you have to try this Gmod horror map.
Yeah. Even something as simple as that, or is this a Gmod horror map, or am I stupid? And you have, because I saw at the very beginning, it had Gromit in there, Wallace in there from Wallace and Gromit at the very beginning. So he might be like an interesting contrast in title versus thumbnail. Dan's going to use our title generator one just very quickly here. So I think, all of these titles are all right. I think they're certainly better than what you're plugging in there from the creator, Dan. So yeah, something to maybe check out and try.
Yeah, you could try this tool for free. When I see a channel like the one we're looking at, this is the perfect channel for this AI title generator we have, because you just give it enough to get a sense of what the heck you're talking about, and it's going to give you ideas and keep generating new ones. And yeah, I just wanted to show that off real quick, because this is exactly the type of stuff I would type into the AI title generator to get some spicier ideas. Now, should you use those ideas word for word if you don't absolutely love them and you're not sure? No, you change them, but they're hopefully to get you inspired to kind of take your titles, and we just want to see you crank them up a notch. I like the changeover, like you mentioned, Rob. It was very boring before, but now we've really cranked up the interest, especially in the thumbnails. It needs more steps forward now. It looks like you're making those incremental improvements, which is awesome to see, but I want to see it continue now. So AI title generator could be one move. The thumbnails are better, but they are also, I would still say, a little bit generic. There's not too much happening in the thumbnail still. So, all right, Rob is getting impatient with me. That means it's time to talk about what video games we're playing.
We've got our own banner now because I've just quickly created it as you were talking, Dan. So yeah, do let us know in the chat, because there's so many gamers here. I do like to know what people's gaming preferences are right now, and it's even got its own music apparently, which is awesome to hear. So Dan, what are you playing right now?
Okay, so starting tomorrow, this is for all the old school RuneScape people in the chat. Yeah. They're doing their 4th league, and they're bringing back a favorite league from a while ago. If you don't know the words I'm saying right now, it's
not a clue.
Old school RuneScape. It's basically they take this game and they for 2 months crank up everything. There are high XP rates and different rule sets and so much fun. And I didn't get to try the last one, so I am really, really excited to find some kind of time, I guess. To play that.
Is immersive storytelling, Brian?
Probably.
Inside joke question there.
I was told by him this morning there was an expansion to that game. I think today or something. So yeah, I'm not too surprised to see it. Maybe it's pretty popular right now.
Maybe it is. Hi, Brian, if you're watching.
What are you playing?
So, the Weird West game. Dan, keep clicking on games, by the way, from comments.
What?
The Weird West game did not last long in the PlayStation 5. I quit. I rage quit after about an hour.
Have you played Red Dead?
Just too slow. So, here we go. This is Rob Wilson, Frontier Gibberish Video Gaming Opinions. I don't like Red Dead Redemption 2. I think it's too boring.
Knew it. I just knew it.
It's like you're just going around a huge map on a horse for so long, and then it's just boring stuff happens. But I like Red Dead Redemption, the original one. So yeah, I'm just weird in that way. But anyway, I have moved on to Horizon Forbidden West, which is a sprawling adventure RPG game. It's good, but it can be a bit annoying at times. I have put the game on hard, and it's harder than... I play every game on hard, which is usually the right challenge, but this is particularly hard. And then just some of the jumping physics and the clinging onto stuff physics, which can be really tight, usually in most games, can be a bit hit and miss. I'm often making leaps of faith and just dying because, I thought I was going to grab onto that and I didn't. But I think the most worrying thing, Dan, is that I'm getting into Rumble Warcraft or Warcraft Rumble, whatever it is. Can you remember that game I told you last week?
Yeah.
The new Clash Royale style game. I'm getting into it so much that I actually pumped some money into a mobile game.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got an upgrade so that I get more golden experience for the lifetime of my account. And I only did that because I got some Google Play vouchers when I bought this watch like 6 months ago. So I had to spend the money on something, but I am getting into it. I'm enjoying it. And if everybody wasn't here last week, if you're a gaming channel and you're into mobile games, Warcraft Rumble could be the big new like Clash of Clans, Clash Royale gaming channel to start if you're really into that sort of stuff.
There's views out there for it, that's for sure. Yeah. You're not a World of Warcraft person, right?
So I played World of Warcraft 3, enjoyed it. I played, I think I remember actually calculate this, or it tells you. I played 72 hours of World of Warcraft.
Okay.
And then I quit because it was just consuming far too much of my time.
Well, they're also doing an event. I don't know if it starts tomorrow, but really soon, like taking the game, different rule sets, so something to check out. I forgot what it's called, something seasons. I don't know. Someone here will know. All right. No, we're not only doing gaming channels, but good question because we are focusing on games for the moment. But no, we are getting back into channels. We'll kind of bounce between gaming and non-gaming. So the next channel on the list, Rob, you picked this one.
Yeah.
So
let's resume our regularly scheduled audits. So there are a few things with this channel are interesting. First of all, the banner. Is that one of Van Gogh's paintings? I don't know. It's
probably a Google default one.
You know, maybe it's one of the it's the YouTube default Hong Kong banner.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The AI version of it or something. Anyway, this channel you would describe as one of those maybe female lifestyle channels, and they have a certain look to them, which to the naked eye or the average creator looks, I'm going to be honest, a little horrible in that they're very cluttered and the text is almost unreadable. But weirdly, that is the somewhat style of this niche on YouTube. I still think there are many improvements that could be made to these thumbnails. But that's not what I really want to get at, Dan, because they have 12 subscribers and they have shorts and long form videos. And the views at this point are pretty strong. They're all into treble figures, apart from the most recent one. And it looks as if they do have a clear understanding of their channel focus and target audience, which is, I guess, females to maybe 30 to 22, 24. Maybe they're still in school, college, and they're starting to have more aspirations, dreams, goals, a bit of disposable income that they can invest on themselves in some way. So that all seems quite clear to me. And the thumbnails give off this vision of a certain person's lifestyle, and they're all what you might call Instagram pictures taken from like a social media account. But then, Dan, just click on one of the videos. So what we very quickly discover that this is what I might describe as a glorified PowerPoint presentation. And it is just still pictures, text, music. Now, this, funnily enough, is kind of one of the better ones because I believe this is the creator. You can see some of the pictures of him, maybe not the face, but the hair and whatnot. But all of the videos on this channel are of this similar style, where it's a bit of text, some pictures, music for about a minute. If you go back to one of the other videos, like this one, for example, they did have an intro. So it Girl Makeup Essentials. Yeah, that one. So they have an intro, but this intro is different every single time. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, I guess I'm kind of almost, if I was a viewer, I'd be immediately disappointed because what I'm expecting with that thumbnail and this type of channel is a person, a human being that I can connect to both emotionally and on a friendship level. And this immediately kind of takes me out of that feeling experience. Now, maybe I'm being too harsh on the creator because they've just started their channel. They're 6 months, 6 videos into this, they have hundreds of views. So they are clearly doing something right. But I think if they want to continue to progress as a creator, maybe they can start with getting behind the microphone. So starting to do voiceovers and actually recording footage for their videos as opposed to the stills and the text. And then ultimately, maybe 6 months down the line, then they introduce themselves actually in front of camera. I don't know what your personal circumstances are. Maybe you just don't want to do that. Maybe you're not confident enough. There's something else stopping you. But just from a layman viewer looking at this channel for the first time, that was the big oof. Oh, that's going to be tough to overcome when I'm clicking on the video and I'm getting that introductory experience.
I think especially for this niche, when I see like a video about products, It Girl Makeup Essentials, I think getting a human in the video is going to be crucial, because you're basically telling people like what you use and why you use it. And if they're looking at like different, makeup kits for themselves, they're probably going to want to hear from somebody. And you can kind of, as you watch someone, you can kind of build trust and everything. But when that person removes themselves from the video, their voice, and they just put, like you said, kind of like a slide deck on the screen, that doesn't really resonate with people. So I think one of the reasons I think these views are so high compared to the subscriber size is because you're actually doing a really good job with titles and thumbnails. I think you are tapping into a market with these, but people click and they immediately hop off the video because it's not what they were expecting. And then the video kind of stalls because YouTube is like, okay, the click-through rate is good, but people are not watching. It's a minute-long video and people are leaving too early. So it stops getting pushed. We don't have access to your analytics, so I could be wrong. Maybe it's slowly continuing to get traction. But that can happen. If viewer satisfaction on a video is low, even if they clicked into it, it doesn't mean they're going to stay. And that is going to affect how far it can go on the platform. So
you're right, Dan. Like the packaging is developing nicely. Yeah. There's improvements to be made, certainly in the thumbnails. But like the titles are pretty on point. And the style, the structure of the thumbnails is fine. Just tweaks to be made. But yeah, clicking on that video. And also, 1 minute videos, that's an interesting approach. I'm just curious, what are the shorts like in terms of content? So is it, again, just a static image, bit of music, maybe? Yeah.
It is music.
Again, that's kind of more forgivable on a short.
The captions are, I think, trying to caption the song. I don't think they're like...
Is it just subtitles? Yeah.
There's subtitles, but I think it's like literally for the music.
Yeah.
So again, these have a few views, which means YouTube did push them to somebody. Viewer satisfaction was probably too low and people were swiping away, so YouTube stopped pushing them. So it does matter. Like the content itself does matter. And I know that someone who may not want to be in front of a camera probably doesn't want this advice from us, of us saying, well, hey, you would do a lot better if you were on camera. They probably feel like they know that already, but that advice isn't coming out of nowhere. It's because your competition is on camera, and this is an industry about trust and building a community around a personality. If you want to help people romanticize school and stop hating it, I need to like hear that from somebody. I need to understand why they don't hate school, and I need to build up. It's going to hype me up. It's going to hype me up to, okay, I can get through school. I can do this. But that motivational speaker is missing from the video, and so you're kind of putting the motivation aspect on everybody else. Now they have to read a bunch of stuff, and these are people who don't like school, so they probably don't love reading either. They love reading a slide deck. So this is just kind of the space you're in. I think you are going to have to try to find a way to be more personable in these videos.
Typically, beauty, lifestyle, vlogging, which I assume this channel is kind of into as a niche, is the anti-faceless channel. It needs to have that central character, so to speak. And also, just one more thing while I'm reminded of this, Dan. The About section has kind of gone, hasn't gone. You now have to click there. Yeah. And it's displayed as a pop-out box.
I like this better.
It's fine.
I'm still getting used to it, but I do like this better. I like the way the stats are on the side here. You can still type a whole bunch of stuff in here, and I kind of like it.
Cool.
It pops up faster. It doesn't take you off the page. All right.
That is true. Yeah, good point.
We will go to the next channel.
All right.
This is one I picked. It's called Leppic Knives.
I love a channel banner.
I like the channel banner a lot.
Something stylistic about it.
I'm on popular right now. We'll get back to that. But this channel is incredible. We're looking at 2.8K subscribers, 106 videos. We are monetized, and we have a whole bunch of really cool stuff. And the video I'm looking at like a lot is this one. Forging Damascus Katana from bearing steel. I don't know what half those words mean, but listen, like, that was kind of cool. It doesn't matter. This is the kind of stuff that I will watch having like no background knowledge at all of what it is you're doing. Because
Experience channel.
Yes, I'm not learning how to do smithing. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I am looking to see something cool. And this is so fascinating. This is something you don't see often. This is somebody who is taking a skill set that they have in real life and putting some production behind it. I bet you the shots and stuff they're getting probably didn't happen overnight. This is something they probably had to learn, because this is just me. I don't know this about them. I could read the about section to see if I'm right. But this channel probably knew blacksmithing first and then YouTube second. And channels like this are so powerful because they don't have to worry about the what am I going to make content about part. They know exactly what they're going to make content about because they already have something they love. It's the, how do I get this views? You know, I know this is cool. I know people will watch it. How do I get them to watch it? And then they bone up on YouTube education. So such a huge advantage.
For this video, creator. Dan, was there any narration, or was it kind of like a musical experience throughout the whole video? Because I wasn't seeing like a, oh, okay, there we go.
It is a lot of music, but they're not talking much. They were saying something there, but it goes back to, you can't hear it, but
yeah.
It's popping. We're hopping in the club here.
That is a very flat profile, or I don't know, or is it how I'm looking at it on the video?
What do you mean?
Usually it'd be color graded to make colors really pop, but it looks as if they've kind of left
it looks
most
logged.
colors flat, but then really punched out the glowing rods and stuff.
Yeah, it does look like it's kind of log footage. It's working. I think
very
cinematic.
It's a
choice. Yes. Yeah. And look at that yard they have. This is so cool. This is.
You got this playing at 2x or?
I think they sped it up.
Oh right, okay, so right, fair enough. So it's the time lapse in it themselves.
Mm-hmm. That's the latest success on the channel, like the big success, 25,000 views, still going now. And then 2 weeks ago they uploaded another one, Forging Katana from car parts. I'm wondering why this one didn't do as well, and I'm wondering if it's because this thumbnail is so much more like you can identify katana immediately, whereas this one's too busy.
Yeah, and you look at the axe restoration one. It took me like a second to work out. Oh, that's just a very rusted.
We got to zoom out a little bit.
Yeah, zoom out maybe a little bit. And as you say, okay, if you read the title, Forging Katana from Car Parts, that's cool. But just from the thumbnail itself, you can't really tell there's a car part in there. It needs to be much more clear.
It needed a before and after. Like before and like, that you holding up a car part and then after is the sword. That would immediately resonate with an audience, even though it's not as stylistic as this thumbnail. It's about communicating the simple message.
So I think let's be clear here. The thumbnails are the biggest thing letting down this channel from what we can see in the top row. So we sort by most popular and just see if there's any other outliers in terms of big views.
This was a different thing they were doing, I think. I think this is when they were building.
That was years ago as well.
Yeah.
So we can't really use them.
But I'm glad to see their smithing content is forging ahead.
Hey.
Sorry. I'm glad to see it is going strong for them. So these videos, I wouldn't say are pulling the channel down or anything like that. They can totally stay where they are. But how do we do this again? And I think this one just communicated a simple message. And that's what you have to do. You got to communicate a simple message.
I would say the second video is packaged perfectly. Mm-hmm. But actually the first video is a more curious idea.
Yes.
So if the packaging was better, it has more chance of potentially going viral.
I think so too.
What about? So go ahead.
I was gonna say, I bet you it's not too late to change this to a split screen thumbnail, or if you've had another idea you're thinking about, try it out, because I think people will click this still.
What about shorts? Have they got anything going on shorts wise at the moment? So they have done a couple of versions of their most recent videos in short form, which is good because I kind of think that there is viral potential here. And this is well shot, very nicely edited. Maybe, Dan, yeah, you're saying, even though it is their content, given the handle, YouTube may still be seeing that watermark and thinking, nah, I don't like other platforms' content on this chat on YouTube. We're just going to suppress it and not show it to anyone.
Yeah, you really want to make your content, like take the raw from, or I don't want to say the raw, but take the rendered video and upload it by itself to Instagram, to TikTok, to YouTube. Don't take from Instagram and then move to YouTube, because this is longer version on YouTube. Like this now I'm confused. Now it's like really not made for a YouTube audience. And even if YouTube isn't suppressing the content, the audience might be like, oh, okay, this is for somebody else. Like this is, I don't know. It's don't let people disengage from the content like that. Try to find the footage, the original video, and then put that on YouTube.
I've just realized another feature StreamYard needs, and that's annotations. Because what I wanted to do then, Dan, is if you go back to a shot, I want to draw on the screen the fact that you're saying it's a longer version of YouTube. You don't need to do that anymore. You can put a link actually on screen to direct people to the longer version. Yes,
that is now a thing on YouTube. I think everyone has access to it.
I believe so. I don't think there's any restrictions. Maybe verifying the account. But other than that, good to go.
So yeah, I'd say that's Leppic Knives. We did give them quite a bit of advice, and hey, this is just awesome to see. Congrats on your success, and taking a passion of yours and bringing it to YouTube. All right, we're looking at the screenshot right now because we are getting into our community selection for the week. And is it Lee? Is this how you say this name?
Lee.
Lee has just achieved 250 subscribers in April. Congrats. They have a podcast. It's on YouTube. We're going to take a look at their channel. Lights, camera, rant.
So, hang on. I was going to say, they sent us a certificate from, 6 months ago? And now 6 months later, they have 4,500 subscribers. So
that's probably why I got the certificate. now in context, I'm like, oh, they're probably showing us that because that's a really quick turnaround for this channel.
They've almost 20x'd their channel in terms of subscriber size, which is cool.
Yeah. So what does that do to? Because let's see, the latest videos, we'll get into it. Not a ton of views here in the latest videos. Most popular, not a ton of views in the most popular. Is it shorts?
Must be.
Let's see. Popular. Aha.
There we go.
Okay.
A couple of 500,000.
So we're looking at different filters in these shorts.
They are currently a shorts apply TikTok filter channel.
So let's see. There it is.
My personal opinion is that took too long.
It did take quite a bit of time. You could have edited that down. Yeah. But listen, it worked. I think the drama probably got people to stay. What's it going to look like? What's it going to look like? This is cool.
You think the anticipation?
Yes. These are all cool. I don't want to burst their bubble. But you are bringing in, potentially, the wrong audience for your podcast.
Yeah. Does
I know it's shorts.
It doesn't matter if it's shorts.
Just a little. Because if there's any chance at all of these shorts viewers looking at your long form content, it kind of goes out the window when it gets too far away from what they were enjoying in shorts. And you're only going to get a small sliver of people from shorts wanting to check out the long form videos, but we are losing that sliver of people. So that's just, you can still do this if you want. It's kind of like having a separate channel. And if you don't care about losing that sliver of people, do you? That's great. But let's talk about the long form videos. This is going to be the bread and butter for the channel. Like, they're spending a lot of time making these. This is a 2.5 hour video. Biting into the Jaws franchise. Jaws versus Jaws the Revenge. Frozen meets Ghostbusters trailer. Reaction to Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Okay, so there's a big mix of video lengths here. You've got hours-long podcasts. What does that bring him to me? Does that look like a podcast as well? Like
movie
a clip of
review.
Something? Okay. And then you've got just a quick, fast trailer reactions.
And these thumbnails and stuff are way more templatized down here.
Yeah. So they've gone away from templatized thumbnails, and it looks as if there has been an increase in views, definitely. I mean, wow, look at these. Views under 10.
Yeah.
On some of these. And then you scroll up to the top, and now views are in the dozens. So that does prove that with some more compelling thumbnails, you will get more clicks. Having said that, I mean, I would still be disappointed with the return on investment or on these views. So why is that? My broad answer would be, even though you are a movie commentator, I'll call you that, I still think you're trying to cover too many aspects of movies, because there's a video game in there as well. It looks like you have several different formats of which you're not sure which to stick a flag in. So we've got trailer reactions, movie reviews, and podcasts, and then sort of long video podcast essays biting into the Jaws franchise. And in terms of audience, we're looking at Jaws, which is now a near 45-year-old movie, is it? Nearly 50 years old? I'm trying to think.
I don't know.
74.
Something like
very, quite an old movie.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Dragon Ball, quite a different niche. Jedi Survivor, that's a video game and it's Star Wars. Ghostbusters, Garfield. Now, me personally, I kind of have a passing interest in some of these, like Ghostbusters, Jaws. I have more of an interest in Star Wars. So I might have watched that video, but then I probably wouldn't have watched anything about The Exorcist or Dragon Ball. So I'm kind of being lost as a potential viewer. So it feels to me, Dan, like they have what they would describe as a niche, but they don't have like a specific channel focus on a target audience.
That's missing, in my opinion, as well. And that is the advice we give a lot of channels. But to just get beyond channel focus for a minute, I also think more could be done with the content itself. And when I say that, I'm just going to throw some ideas at you. So trailer reaction for Ghostbusters. Now, this is as long as a trailer just about. A trailer is usually between 1 and 3 minutes, and this video is under 3 minutes. So I assume this is literally just your physical reaction to the trailer, but without a lot of breakdown after the fact. But so many channels right now who are anticipating really exciting like releases for movies and TV shows, they take one trailer and they break down like scene by scene, frame by frame sometimes what's happening and like what they can glean from it. And they do a lot of speculation. One channel in particular I've been watching a lot, Rob, I'm not embarrassed to admit this, Who Culture. If you are a Doctor Who fan, this is probably a channel that's come up on your list. Now, I'm not saying you need to focus on one TV show forever if that's not what you want to do, but it should at least appeal to the same audience. But channel focus, we already talked about that. They take anything, any scrap of information about these new specials that are coming out, and they break it down to death. And that's why these videos are 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 8 minutes. They take one 3-minute trailer and they really, really dig into it. So this is kind of your encouragement, I hope, to maybe look at these thumbnails and titles too. We're not really, there are creators who are on camera on this channel, but we're not really focused on them. It's the stars of the show. That is another idea to keep in mind. But I can't go back. There we go. For you, I think you can dig in deeper. Like one trailer for the Garfield movie, you obviously felt strongly enough to make a video on it, but could you have said more? Could you have talked about previous installments of Garfield movies in the past and how this one's going to be different, what you're excited about, what you hope they don't do? Like people, if you're going to be doing a podcast that is based on like your opinions about media, give some opinions about media and like really, script out these videos. And that's, again, like if you choose a channel focus, if you agree with us that channel focus is something you could improve at, you would still need to have a little more substance to these. And you can do both still. You can do 45-minute podcasts and like 10-minute videos as well on the same channel. But it's just, you got to give the audience a little bit more than what they could get if they just watch the trailers themselves. That's That's what I'm getting at.
Word.
Okay.
I'm saying that because I'm looking for buttons to press in the background. I have now pressed them.
Oh, that means...
you know what music that means, Dan.
Yes, that means Rob is ready to leave. Well, Rob, thank you for joining us, I guess. So we have a whole bunch of super chats. Thank you so much for all of your super chats. We're going to get into these right now, starting with Sasha's reason and crime.
I would say. Yeah.
There's a ch in there, so I'm love the one-on-one coaching. It gave me so many insights. That is amazing to hear. We're going to talk about one-on-one coaching in a little bit. If you're looking to get yourself a YouTube coach, stay tuned.
More on that later.
Thank you for the super chat, and I'm glad that is working for you. That is so awesome to hear. Modern Hipster Vintage says, I've surpassed the 4,000 hours needed for monetization in 8 months, but only at 700 subscribers. Long-form videos. Any suggestions?
It's a typical one at this point. It's going to happen eventually. You will get to 1,000 subscribers, and probably relatively soon if you've already got the 4,000 hours, which is brilliant. Calls to action. You can now say to your audience, if enough people are watching, and be honest about it. Say, hey, I love doing this on YouTube, and I have a wonderful opportunity to take this to the next level, but I'm this close to monetization. And the way you can help me realize my goal and put more back into the channel is just by clicking that subscribe button. That's all I need from you right now. If you enjoy this content, make sure to subscribe so that you can get notifications when I go and publish my next video. That type of thing, I would say just be honest. Don't ask for the subscription at the very start of a video. Always ask kind of once you've delivered a bit of value, because those viewers are more engaged. But yeah, it's going to happen, modern hipster vintage, very soon.
For anyone looking for subscribers, I want you to remember one thing. Community is going to be key. Building a solid community of people who are interested in the same things you're interested in. And one way you can kind of get this going is the community tab. And I'm not saying the community tab is going to net you thousands and thousands of subscribers. There is data showing people will subscribe from community tab posts, but that's not really what it's about. It's about starting to tap into what everyone's interested in so you can start to make sure you're speaking the language of the people who you're trying to attract to your channel. And people will feel like, I'm not just watching this person once in a while, like I'm starting to get to know them more. I'm getting to know more of their opinions, stuff they're not going to say in videos, but they kind of put it out there in the community tab. It's really, really helpful for building an actual community. That's why it's called the community tab. Keep that in mind. It's going to help you get subscribers in the sense that people are going to start to get to know you better. Designburst is back, Rob.
Yeah, so this is a streak now of 27, but with an asterisk against it, because we went live early one week and they weren't able to super chat, but I've kind of given them a pass on that.
But you're still going to bring it up every time. I've given them a pass, but I'll remember this. So can we please create a video about sound design? We can't find specifically for YouTube, but mostly for movies. We would prefer your style. Thanks.
It's an interesting topic. We always are a little hesitant to do stuff on like the best camera setups and whatnot, because I still feel as if I'm a novice at that aspect of it. And there are many great videos out there. I'm surprised you haven't found them yet. Just one channel off the top of my head I suggest would be, how do you pronounce it, Dan? Is it Senpai Gaming?
Harris Heller's channel, yeah.
Harris Heller's, yeah. He's always does some good stuff, useful to content creators. But if I was to give you some general advice about audio suggestions, is obviously get as good a microphone as you can if you're doing voiceovers. But I think you're mostly an AI channel, so I don't know if that would apply to you. Finding the right music to fit the theme of your content, and sound effects go a long way if you're using them frequently, but also many different types of thumbnails, because you don't want your viewer to get bored of the same sound, hearing the same sound effects over and over again. And it's one of those extra points of editing, spending time thinking about the good sound effects. Like, I was working with our editor on a video recently where we were trying to get the right noise for when words appeared on screen that were actually looked like a computer was typing it out, and I couldn't think of a right sound effect. But eventually, Maciek solved it. It was digital typing, so the noise where it's like beep 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 beep, but It kind of doesn't sound
like a cell phone when the volume's on your typing. Like
yeah, no, not so much. More like a 1990s version of the text being typed out. But like, how do you type that in and find it? I mean, sure, AI can probably do that a bit more accurately than that. Anyway, Dan, I rambled a lot about that and didn't give you a chance to talk about sound design.
It's something that, like, the most basic thing you can do is make sure your audio is clean. And if you're worried about your music being too loud, it doesn't hurt to lower it. If music can be too low, it can't be too loud. That's like one important rule. And like, if you're a novice and you're not finding a lot of tutorials, at least lean on that for now. Like, don't go overboard, don't overthink it. Just make sure it sounds clean. If there's stuff running in the background, is there any way you can get that to not be the case? Things like that. It's one of those skills you learn over time. It's not really in our wheelhouse for the kind of videos we make. Not to say we'll never do it. It's just we don't really focus on those production type of videos, as Rob pointed out. But I mean, John's made some editing videos and thumbnail videos. We have tested it. So I'm not saying we'll never do it.
Yeah, maybe in the future.
Trey gave us a super. Thank you so much, Trey. Dr. Voicenstein. Normally get 1,000 views or more on my shorts. Recently, I've been getting a lot less. What could be causing that?
Okay, so we made a video a couple of months ago was why do my views suddenly stop on shorts? It may be worth watching. Views on shorts can be a little misleading because sometimes they're almost more like impressions, where YouTube needs to test this content with an audience and it can't do it through a thumbnail and title. So it may give you like a free 1,000 views to test the content, but now it has more information and data about your audience. It's maybe being a bit more stingy and thinking, well, we've been testing this content for a long time with a certain audience and it's not been working. So we're going to be a little harsh. We're going to be a little more stingy with this creator. They may need to get more positive signals. I will admit, I'm kind of making this up as I go along because it's a typical thing. We're trying to predict what the algorithm is specifically doing. The short answer is your shorts are engaging your audience enough. And you need to investigate why. So that would be audience retention and the swipe away analytic would be the first two to maybe look at.
Trey is back with a super. It says, no time. 3 kids. Tips to do more with less time.
That sounds like a channel in itself, Dan.
Yeah, it really does.
I have 3 kids and I don't have any time. So I'm going to show you how I find time to make these videos, be an amazing parent, and have my life in order. I think one thing that might be working in your advantage. This is something we're starting to talk about more and more. Yeah, I know where you're going with this.
I think next year it's going to become like the topic of discussion, but authenticity on YouTube is on the rise. And what does that mean? People who don't make Mr. Beast style content, meaning heavily scripted, heavily edited, all that stuff. People who just know how to keep a video moving with just themselves and really put their personalities front and center. It's difficult to describe without maybe pulling up some examples, but why I'm saying this is, like, I don't know what your channel's about, but is there a way you could maybe cut back a little bit on some of your editing aspirations and not affect the retention on your content? It might be possible. It really depends on what you're doing. Some videos, some types of videos call for really heavy edits and a lot of scripting and storytelling. Some don't. So it depends on what you're doing, but there might be shortcuts, corners you can cut, depending on what it is you're doing. But I don't know. That's just one tip for me.
I can't believe these words are coming out of your mouth, Dan. Like, Dan is basically saying, sacrifice quality for quantity.
I did it. In my own way, on my own channel, I did the same thing. I'm like, I want to try for a moment to do more regular uploads. And so I cut back on the edit, but I didn't cut back on the story I was trying to tell. I just made sure, like, there was a lot of opportunities for more sound effects, more music, more punch-ins, more drama. I threw all that away because I knew I would not be able to keep up with the schedule I was going for if I had put too much work into it. So I really focused on storytelling and just keeping my overarching goals kind of in line. That's what I did.
So you were being efficient.
Yeah.
Dan the Efficient, we shall now call him henceforth.
3D Puck Tech channel. Give us a super sticker. Appreciate you. Thank you. Nine Finger Wrenching's back. Started one-on-one coaching. I've been working with Paul. It's been great having someone invested in my channel with me. Thanks so much for offering it. Nine Finger Wrenching, thank you so much for subscribing to one-on-one coaching and sharing your experience with everybody. Appreciate you. We'll talk a little bit more about one-on-one coaching in a bit, but I love to see everyone here who's getting a lot of value out of it, letting us know. Eddie's back. How does posting time affect views, especially if my main audience is in a completely different time zone, America and Southeast Asia?
Yeah, so YouTube says that the posting of a video doesn't impact the performance over the long term, but it can be quite important to post a video at the right time if it's time-sensitive video content. So if it's time-sensitive, I don't care what time it is, post it, because everybody else will be. Like if it's a news event, an Apple launch, whatever, get the information out there as soon as possible. If it's kind of more your run-of-the-mill content, entertainment-wise, my general rule of thumb is to try and cover the entirety of the English-speaking world in one day. So that means posting it at, let me try and get this right. It would be it's about 2 p.m. UK time, which is, what's the quick maths there, done? What's 2 p.m. where you are? It's 8 a.m., isn't it?
Something like that.
No,
I don't know.
No, that's not right. Oh, this is confusing now. It's 7 a.m., right, your time, and 4 a.m. No, I've got my maths completely wrong here.
I think the point
it's like
stands.
when the sun rises in Los Angeles, that's when the video's posted, because it's lunchtime in New York, and it's going home time for everybody in the UK. And I see all of those as the biggest English-speaking markets. Unfortunately, you kind of always have to sacrifice Australia and New Zealand, which are just in a worse time zone for the English-speaking world. So, yeah, that's generally how I do it. That's a really long-winded way of telling you when we post videos here at vidIQ.
Also, I don't feel like it matters too much in terms of the long-term success of a video.
But logic would dictate that you probably shouldn't post it at 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning for the general audience, right? You want to post it when people are online, but you don't tend, that because of time differences, it can be really difficult to predict.
Yeah, but if you're worried about it, don't overthink it too much. Just do your best.
Yeah, I think I've overthought that more than anyone else in that question, haven't I?
Crazy vibe.
This is a new member.
Bruh.
They get sound effects.
Thank you so much for becoming a member. Enjoy your emotes. Appreciate you. Mickleback Gaming says, you audited my channel and pointed out my news videos weren't getting the views my WWE 2K23 videos were getting. Should I make a separate channel for the news?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, even though it's about wrestling.
Is the news about wrestling games?
It's probably... so if it's about wrestling games, then yeah, probably keep it on the same channel. But if it's about wrestling news in general, like I am still interested in what goes on in wrestling, even though I don't watch it that much. But I have no interest in the wrestling games whatsoever. I haven't played one in 20 years. I'm not the average, wrestling fan. But my guess is that you would probably want to separate them out. But what I would first think about, Dan, is which one are you most passionate about? And let's focus on that on one channel before you try and start to manage 2 channels. Because that's a lot of work and a lot of content to try and push out.
Mm-hmm. Homeroom with Smooth. Can I get reviewed next time? You can get reviewed next time because we clear the form every week. So if you submit your channel next week, if you submit your channel this week, but again, we'll clear it. If you submit next week and we pick you at random, you could get reviewed.
They can still get reviewed in the next hour.
Yeah, if you've already submitted your channel, that could happen. Do you sometimes choose to review a movie channel? During pre-selected,
we just did.
We just did, yeah. Now I've closed it, but yes, during pre-selected, we will try and find a wide variety of channels, and movie channels come up quite often. So we did just look at one a little while ago and gave some tips. So be sure to go back. It was channel. Was it the Rant channel? Lights, Camera, Rant.
Yeah.
go back just a little bit, you'll find it. And, those tips would apply, I think, to anybody doing like a movie review channel. Outside in aquatics, should I use the same background music in my videos? If you want to, we like have like a library of songs we use. And we don't update it too much. So it's good to get a vibe. I don't think you have to use the same one over and over again, but you could.
I would say our editors, when they're making videos, they tend to use a good selection, but I am guilty as sin for using the same intro music on all my videos, but I just love it. And I can't be bothered going endlessly through Epidemic Sound or any other music library to find another one that's so perfect for what I'm using for. But that's where some creators go the extra step. They will spend hours finding new music for content. Like John, he will find perfect music for all his videos because he just loves to do that type of research to make and craft something that's beautiful.
And this will be the last question before we go back to reviewing channels. We will get to more questions later, though. Nick asks, any idea how to squeeze a call to action into the videos that are actually audiobooks? So when I read this initially, I thought they must have a channel where they read books on their channel. I think they do audiobooks on YouTube, which, by the way, if you do that, be very careful that you have permission to do that, because that would be a big copyright issue if you were just reading a book that you bought and, putting it on YouTube. If I'm right about that, or if it's like maybe books you have permission for or whatever, my advice would be your call to action is at the end of the video, where you tease maybe the next book you're going to read or a book you've read in the past that is similar to the one you just read. And try to get people to start a watch session. Try to keep them on your channel rather than asking them to subscribe. They'll subscribe over time. Try to start a watch session with that.
I'll defer to your answer there because I'm still not quite clear on the question.
I may have it wrong in terms of what they do on their channel, but that was my best guess. All right. That was Super Chats. Thank you so much. We will get back to those in a little while. Let's check out another channel. Now, this one's a little bit different. We're going to do something a little bit different right now. Oh, this channel did not submit for review. And I know a lot of you are like, no, I don't want to see it then. But listen, hear me out. This is a channel we found we wanted to point out because of how successful it's been in such a short span of time. We want to once in a while do this for you so you can see that YouTube doesn't hate small channels. The quote should go around, hate small channels. That's not a thing. If you go into YouTube with intent and a strategy, you too can have a channel that gets almost 50,000 views in its first video after 2 weeks. And that's what happened here. The Unexpected Best Driver 2023. This is a golf channel. And they're focused on golf and they're focused on reviewing different golf clubs. And you can see it's a human. We're not looking at like AI. I know you can't hear them, but their audio is good. And they have B-roll. And they have like presenting skills and charisma. Did this happen overnight, Rob? Probably not.
Unlikely. I would suggest that this is not their first dance in the YouTube rodeo.
Yes. But listen,
good stuff,
when we say that, sometimes when we say this probably isn't their first channel, I want to be very clear to those who are still kind of learning the YouTube ecosystem. YouTube is not taking this person's experience from other channels and going, correct. Oh, it's you. I trust you already. I'm going to make your videos blow up. That's not how it works. This is strategy. They started a channel, but it might not even be on the same Google account if they have multiple channels. This is pure strategy paying off for the creator. They did their research. They have good presenting skills. They have excellent thumbnails, excellent titles. They are catering to a specific market. This is like a channel, whether or not they watch vidIQ, following the advice we would generally give and getting a lot of results from it. And that's why I wanted to bring this channel up today, because it's just an excellent and encouraging example of what you can do in a short span of time on YouTube. They're already monetized after 4 videos.
There is a channel that often submits, and it's one of the first, usually every week. Let's just see if they've submitted this week, which I think would be like a perfect template for them to follow. They're a tennis racket channel, review channel. And
do you want me to look on the form, the background?
I can't remember what they're called, Dan. No, I'm looking as well. And this is terrible for the live stream, just me clicking on forms that no one can see. So they're not there, but I know this channel has submitted many times. They've been audited once, maybe 6 months ago. And this kind of looks like the perfect channel template for them in that they look like they're reviewing golf clubs. just on the surface of this. Maybe about golf courses and technique as well, but the first video and the second video and the most recent video all kind of push towards that reviewing sports equipment. And so, in particular for that channel, any sports channel, probably wants to take a look at this as a template of what's going on. Admittedly, as you say, Dan, this channel probably brings some experience and skill. So you're not going to be as good as this creator, maybe on your first, second, third video, but you can use this as a reference point as to like, this is what a new channel in this niche does right. Let's choose one of the things that they do and work on it in my next video and apply the skills and strategies there.
Yes. So again, the channel didn't submit, so we're not sitting here giving them ideas, advice, things like that. Just some encouragement for you. You can absolutely have a channel get monetized with 4 videos if you know what you're doing, if you have a little bit of experience, and videos like ours and streams like these that you're already watching are getting you that experience because you are here learning. So that was our pre-selected section of the live stream, which means we're about to get into randomly selected channels. But before we do, you might have heard mentioned now a couple of times some folks coming in and saying, hey, things are going really well for me since signing up for one-on-one coaching. This is a new service that we offer here at vidIQ, and more seats have recently opened up. So if you've been thinking about, I could maybe try this one-on-one coaching thing, but you've been struggling to get in.
Wait, done. Let's do this properly. More seats are now available on vidIQ one-on-one coaching. Please continue.
There you go. One-on-one coaching is a service we just started offering, and we have a whole bunch of YouTube creators who are now coaches. So they have their own YouTube experience, all different YouTube walks of life, helping to teach you how to take your channel to the next level. You will have an advocate in your corner.
Oh, I like that. Advocate.
Helping
I love that term.
Cheer you on,
nice.
And give you insights and advice to grow your channel.
I'm just imagining now that the one-on-one coach, right? So the creator says, I posted a video, so the one-on-one coach does this. Okay, let's watch the video. Go on! Come on! Yeah, go on, views! Come on, comments! That's my boy. That's my girl. Yeah, come on! That's advocating.
This is why Rob is not one of the coaches. But we have lots of amazing coaches, even though they're not Rob. So one thing I'll say is this is something that I could have benefited from. I spent a really long time on YouTube kind of spinning my wheels, trying different things, and not researching, not asking for any insights from anyone who knew what the heck they were talking about. And I wasted a lot of time, literal years of my life, sitting in the hundreds or low thousands of subscribers wondering, what the heck am I going to do? Like I would have like one video kind of take off and I get really excited and I wouldn't know how to capitalize on it. That's the kind of stuff that you're going to learn in our program. It's not for everybody. Obviously, there is a price point here that some people maybe not be ready for yet. But listen, this could be the next step for you if you feel like you're ready for it. So check it out. The link is down below. Go on.
We should add, It is an incredible price, though. Like usually for one-on-one consultations for an hour of somebody's time, you're looking at $400-500. This is, in effect, $50 because you get all of the tools from vidIQ. Yes. Everything is unlocked, full access to vidIQ, everything Dan's showing, like title generator, AI coach, etc., etc. And then you get the one-on-one coach for the entire month, and you can have video conversations on a very frequent basis with them. So like for $99 a month, I mean, we still all think it's a steal. I can't believe that we're charging so little. And the chances are it's not going to remain at this price. So if you're on the fence, get off that fence and get your coach while there are spots and the price is where it's at.
So there you go. Thank you for indulging us. That is one-on-one coaching. Link is down below, right at the top of the description. Check that out.
I do have one thing. I shared the message from 9 Finger Wrenching about starting one-on-one coaching and really enjoying it with the coaches channel that we've got, and Paul responded with, "What?" So nice of him. So I just wanted to be the messenger there.
Thank you to everybody. And yeah, let's start checking out your channels. You've been submitting on the forum down below. If you haven't, it's not too late. We are going to start picking them randomly right now. Here it is. It's the CLAAAW. It's back. Yes. The very same from the movie. So,
it's not from the movie, YouTube. That wasn't. It's definitely not from the movie.
We have
Please
588
don't content ID that.
responses on the non-gaming forum. We have 437.
That's 1,000 channels again, Dan.
We did it again. We cracked 1,000 channels. So I'm going to go ahead and update the CLAAAW.
Yep.
And we're going to... Ow!
What happened then?
I don't know what it picked because the sound was on. I was trying to turn it off, and then I clicked away from it. So I don't know who just missed out. It's still on. Okay, 83. I don't like the CLAAAW. Okay.
That was a very delayed sound effect from me as well.
All right. WordPress
Technical
web design
snafus for
channel.
the next hour from us, I think.
Yeah, that's where we're at right now. WordPress web design with Juan. It's going to be difficult for us. We don't speak the language.
Yep.
Initial thoughts, though, is these channels remind me of a channel like that it does web design. I think, or the channels, these thumbnails remind me of a channel that would do web design. Like, I think they are within, like, the niche.
Yeah. So my I have two initial thoughts, and those are, this is a good example of why you should use less text on thumbnails. Because first of all, it takes longer for somebody to read something than get a visual understanding of it. And now for us, because it's in a foreign language, they're all impenetrable thumbnails other than the one which has maybe the discount for cloud storage at $36 US. That's the only one I can maybe guess at is like a, good offer or trying to find the cheapest cloud storage. That's my guess on that channel. And also maybe a lack of commitment here because they haven't posted that many videos in the last year. Like everything you see on screen right now is from the last 8 months. And I would guess it's a utility education channel helping people create websites, hosting domain, that type of thing. With that type of content, I would be expecting an output of maybe once a week at the least. So let's start with commitment to consistency. I like to use that phrase. Can you make one video a week until the end of this year, just to get you on that consistency roadmap? And then less text in the thumbnails from me.
Yeah. That's basically where I'm at as well. I want to see if I click into one of these videos. So we got some music. We have an intro.
Yeah.
It is a real person talking. Audio is pretty decent. It does come up eventually. How long does this little animation go?
It's going on for
10
quite a while,
seconds.
isn't it?
They're talking underneath it.
Right.
But it's not adding a whole lot. I would kind of prefer it if it started here on this screen. Just because it would feel a little more tutorial-y, whereas the other screen, it kind of made me feel like, oh, am I in the right place? I'm not really sure. And the music was pretty loud, and I don't know if you necessarily need that. But yeah, difficult one for us, not speaking the language.
Sort by most popular?
Oh.
Okay, so
this I understand.
They were on YouTube a long, long time ago. Probably when no one else was doing how to convert. Now, you see, even that thumbnail, like you see, because it has less text, I get it instantly. I know what that video is about. I don't need any translation for it.
When you hear me say the words "one simple message," this is what I'm trying to say. Can you tell me what the video is without me having to read the title in one simple way? So that's, really
I wanted to see if there was any particular strong topic they had. WordPress, but again, this is all from 9 years ago, so
yeah,
it's difficult to gauge where the channel should be at now.
can you teach more basic concepts like this? In fact, this still feels relevant today. What about a Google Word doc to a PDF? Like, can you teach simple concepts across your channel? Because it looks like these other videos get pretty in-depth, and you should have those too. I'm not saying you pivot away from these, but for kind of growing your audience, building that trust with the new audience, teaching some really fundamental skills could help you go a long way.
You could make a video on why is Adobe Acrobat free gig in 2024? Like, why does a PDF reader need to be a 4 gig program? It drives me insane.
That's a pretty specific example, but yeah, you could do that.
Gosh, Dan, let's do a YouTube search for this. Like, why is Adobe Acrobat so big? Oh, well. Okay.
All right. Well.
Linus is
yeah. Here we go. Reduce PDF file size.
No, it's not. It's not the size of a PDF file. It's the size of the Adobe Acrobat program.
Okay, but this one's actually enormous. Helpful, though.
It's enormous.
You're looking for a video essay.
Shall we move on?
Yeah. All right. We're going to pick the first gaming channel. There are 460 responses on the gaming forum currently.
Yeah, Dan is disciplined enough to reset the numbers every time, where I don't. I just pick away.
And then I still type them wrong anyway. Radioactive
VR. Oh, we said that in unison, Dan. We could be a cappella group. Or a barbershop duo. Radioactive VR.
Long form videos, they say, so we won't focus on their shorts.
Let's not.
We will focus on the long form content on the channel. New out of the map glitch. Gorilla tag fall update. New way outside of the map. Watch your spelling in your titles. Shooting all targets 200 times. In what? Is my question for you.
I think it's all Gorilla Tag. I think. And if that's their niche within a VR game, that's cool. Because, hey, some gaming channels do not get 250 views, 180 views, 300 views. That's cool. That's good to see.
Asking probably people their Halloween costumes.
Quite a small audience ceiling, you know, when you talk about total addressable market. But I think maybe just for this creator to find their feet on YouTube, you know, get the upskill their YouTube creativity, I think they're in the right place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a pretty popular, I would say, VR game. And
yeah, one of the more popular ones.
Look at this creator leveling up. Like their thumbnails from a few months ago, not great. We would be talking about these, but lately they're getting better. Still pretty reliant on text, but they've really toned down the amount of things in their thumbnail, the amount of elements. Yeah. And that's nice to see. So yeah, I think the Target one stands out to me the most. The brightness could be a little bit better. Like there's still some polishing they could use, but yeah, there's a lot of promise, I think, for this channel.
But as you said, the problem with that one is that it's for a new viewer to the channel. It's too vague. Like, as you say, targeting what? There needs to be some Gorilla Tag visual reference there, I think.
Yeah.
Because for all I know, that could be Zelda or another VR archery game of some kind. I don't know if you scroll down just a touch, Dan, there was one thumbnail, just a little bit more. And it's on the right-hand side here now. Way too many Gorilla Tag. The text there is more readable than on pretty much any other thumbnail. So that big, chunky text. Try to use that a little bit more on all your thumbnails, but just not as much.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the words also don't mean a whole lot. Counting evening more lights.
Yeah.
Like none of those words kind of give me any indication of what the video is about. I don't really know the game, but I think that even if I knew the game, I don't know what those words together like that mean. So be thinking about like try to use less words. See if you can keep it just as 2, and what would make it really interesting. So way too many people in Gorilla Tag. Again, watch your spelling. It should be two with two O's. Hard to say. And then so if there's way too many people, I think you don't even need text. You could zoom way out with all these different people running around and just show the gaggle of people, you know. So be thinking about, again, communicating that nice simple message.
One more thing, let's talk about most popular, because we know the channel focus is on point. Are there any outlier themes? And there is this one about a glitch. So finding funny, interesting glitches might be a series that you can capitalize on a little bit more. Maybe Gorilla Tag did what now? That maybe is another kind of glitch, or like exposing some part of it. So finding the, how would I put this? The exploitable parts of it. A bit like maybe you are the spiffing Brit of Gorilla Tag. Think of it from that point of view. But also, of course, updates on the game is another aspect as well.
Let's talk about that real quick for gaming channels looking to branch out, get out of the niche that they're in. You could, since this video is so successful, are there other games that fans of Gorilla Tag would like that are VR? Because you could find more glitches in other games if you're struggling to find more in Gorilla Tag. You could find glitches to get you outside the map in all kinds of VR games. That could be something you do, because when you said Spiffing Brit, that's where I'm getting this from. That's what Spiffing Brit would do. He would play a lot of different games, but find all these different exploits within them. And that's his through line, is exploits in games. That could be yours as well if you want to try and get out. You have to have something that connects your videos together, and that could be what it is if it's not going to be Gorilla Tag.
Well, Dan picks the next channel. 64% of you are saying that this is your first channel review live stream, so welcome. There's nearly 900 people watching, which is awesome. But only 600 of you have liked this live stream. So for all of you newbies, there is a policy here that you have to like the like stream in order to continue watching. So please rectify that now. If you have already liked the live stream, then please show your appreciation by whatever emojis you feel appropriate in the chat. And for you members, give us your
emojis.
Maybe we should do a poll for that. Maybe we should ask people, should we turn our emojis into merch? I've got 2 of them so far. When are you going to get your full shirt emoji done, Dan?
I don't know. Eventually. Hey, where do you think Viper is?
Oh my! Oh, well, where is he? Gee, whoa, what's up?
I about to say, I thought y'all forgot about me. What's up?
Sorry, I didn't look over on that side of the screen for a while.
It is all good.
I must confess, because I'm not hosting, I've got it on full screen, so I'm not looking at any of the background stuff.
Happy Tuesday. How y'all doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Doing good. I'm running out of opportunities to show up this year, so I got to come up in here.
Yeah, well, welcome back. We have some Viper emotes, members, so go ahead and throw those in there now. Thank you for being here, because we are looking at our next channel, and we can get your thoughts on it. Retired and Loving It. They have 2,000 subscribers. They are monetized, and they've been posting quite frequently. We got content as of 2 days ago. When you see all this, what are your first thoughts?
Okay. So I love the title of the channel, Retired and Loving It, and different things like that. I'm trying to, I don't know what to expect though. I mean, you're retired, but there are so many directions that you can go with being retired. So what is the point of the channel? I mean, I guess I should probably read the about section for that. Maybe I don't know. Let's see. Oh, okay. We will show you how you can retire on a budget and enjoy life. Okay, so they are trying to show us how to live a retired life on a budget. Interesting. Okay.
I love how Terry retired after 28.5 years of service. It's like when you ask somebody in school, like, how old are you? And like, I'm 8.25 years old. I just find that cute. But I have to round it to a half a year.
So,
yeah,
the latest video is pros and cons of group travel. They're calling it Coffee Talk.
Ooh,
not familiar?
Okay, yeah. First mistake on these videos, hashtags in the title. It's not. Don't do that. I think even YouTube themselves have come out and said that adding hashtags, especially in your video titles, doesn't really do much. And hashtags work differently on YouTube than how they work on other sites like Twitter. When you use a hashtag on YouTube, the only thing that it does is it groups all your videos into a landing page for that particular hashtag. It's not going to give your video extra traction. So it just kind of muddies the water. So I would avoid doing that if I were you all.
This is the Coffee Talk hashtag.
Yeah.
Right now. And I don't even know what it's sorted by. It's just all 5 months ago, 3 years ago, 5 months ago. There's no rhyme or reason to it. This is why we tell people not to use hashtags, because they don't really do anything.
Right.
One day, maybe But right now, YouTube doesn't seem to know what to do with hashtags.
So, I think the creators need to respect their audience a little more. And what I mean by that is they could probably put into AI, ChatGPT, Coach AI, whatever you want to use, something along the question of what are the top 100 questions people search for when they are about to retire or have just retired. And if you look at videos such as when should you retire, what's the future of traditional Medicare, and then I'm sure we can scroll down and find another one very easily down when they are talking about retirement. There's nothing really there. This is all kind of like personal vlogging stuff. Keep going. There should be something else here about specifically retirement. No, there isn't really, is there?
Yeah.
I think there's two. I think there's two channels that are clashing with each other here. The value proposition at the top is like, we've just retired. Let's help you on your journey to retirement. And then it's all like how we enjoy retirement, traveling and stuff. And I think that should be a separate channel. Or they take all of their retirement stuff onto a new channel.
It could be
retirement Q&A.
It could be a repackaging of the idea too. So the art of glass blowing. Instead of making a video for a glass blowing audience, this is something to do while you're retired. What if you had a compilation of a lot of the things you've done as retirees, and you're giving ideas to people who are retired, but they're like, there's so much to do in life. What can I do? So 10 things you can do when you retire, like just a simple video idea. Now you can go glass blowing and take your camera with you. And now you can go explore caves and do all these things. And then you're documenting your journey, but you're creating that listicle video of things you can do once you retire. And so you get to do those things, have your YouTube channel, but the content itself is a little bit different. And that, I feel like, could get a lot more traction.
Well, that's sort of my most popular, because we've got 2,000 subscribers. I'm guessing there's some outliers here.
Ah.
So it's mostly travel stuff, and specifically, it was Elvis stuff. Are they still getting views for that content? Is there any way to find out? No, there won't be, will there? I don't think. I don't think we'll have enough information on this channel.
Probably.
Yeah.
So, as Rob mentioned, you could use our AI coach tool, and you could go into it and just and say, can you give me 10 questions someone who is retired might type into YouTube? This isn't going to be very specific. Anything I could add to this to make it a little bit better?
Not off the top of my head. Let's just see what it kicks out.
So this is specifically trained as a YouTube coach, and will start to give you but here's the thing, it links to your channel. So based on our channel's focus, this is why it's always hard for us to like.
That's cool, isn't it? That is very cool. If we were going to start a new YouTube channel for retired people.
Yeah. By the way, if you get our one-on-one coaching plan, as we mentioned, you get full access to our tools. This is one of them. You'll get full access to this tool. It will link to your channel. So this is why it's a little bit hard to use for someone else. But that is a way you can use it. Anyway, I tried. Okay, let's take some more supers because we have a whole bunch, and I'm worried we're not going to get to them.
Is it that time again?
It's that time again.
All right.
Prepare yourself.
Uplift Die Universe? Something like that.
Registered trademark.
How much do you guys charge to coach 101 for YouTuber beginner to put out motivational videos? The price is the same, regardless of channel size, anything like that. The link is down below. Right now, the price is $100 per month, and you get all of our tools, our full suite of tools, and your one-on-one coach.
That is a deal.
Whew. Scrubby Games. Chat, the Steel Series Sonar app will solve your audio needs. No need to thank me. Thank you, vidIQ, for being goats. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
I'm curious. What is this? What is the Steel Series Sonar app?
There you go. If you're looking for some audio help, with someone was earlier. I think it was Design Burst. New kinda. I'm just curious about your thoughts of my picked niche. We don't know what that is. We can't look at your channel based off of super, but if you had put it in the question, we could have given you some thoughts. So I do apologize there.
Yeah, we don't know.
ZeppyTube has been a member for 1 month now and asks, what's a better font for thumbnails, black or white?
Depends on what the background is.
Indeed.
My favorite is white with a black stroke.
Yeah.
And that'll work on almost anything.
Yeah.
Usually you can get away with white with a black stroke.
Absolutely.
But not ever hardly red.
Oh boy. Okay.
On most thumbnails.
Oh man.
Good click-through rate and average view duration, for example, on a gaming channel making 10 to 12-minute
All
videos.
right. Let me even put this out there because you all asked this a lot. And the answer is there is no such thing as a good general good CTR. It really depends on the videos on your channel and how they have historically performed. What you need to do is take a baseline of your last 10 videos or so and find out what the average CTR of those videos are so you can have that baseline. Once you have that baseline, then you know what a good CTR is for your channel, but it's really dependent on your channel and your data.
That is a knowledge bomb from Viper right there.
When it comes to average view duration, you do want to be comparing you to you. But yeah, more is better. And if you have a 12-minute video and you want people to stick around, try to practice some more storytelling.
There is a graph
research.
that we got a couple of years ago, and I need to like fish it out and actually put a good name against it so I can find it in these situations. But like for 10 to 12, I think there's like a medium whereby if you're getting an average of 5 minutes of watch time from a 10 to 12-minute video, you're in like the upper half of creators, like the upper percentile. But I can never find that graph, and it's really annoying. It's in one of the videos, but I can't remember which one of the 1,700 we've made it's in. All
right. Next up, Mech NIT Arena gave us a super. Appreciate you. Life behind the wheel. Respect both of you guys. I think that was before Viper got here.
Yeah, you got to respect the trio now.
All good.
AI Speedy History, or it's Al Speedy History. It's one or the other. Thank you for your super. Appreciate you. Kyle Rayner Reviews. Hi, I'm an Argentinian channel about comic books. One of the things I do are interviews with comic book creators in English, but most of the content is in Spanish. Any advice besides auto subtitles? Different channel, maybe, for that content.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Intermingling languages on the same channel is tough. I would advise against it, to be honest.
But typically speaking, when you're watching, whether it's YouTube content or something on television, you accept baked-in subtitles if it's a foreign speaker, as long as it's not completely dominating the content all of the time. I'd say that's fairly acceptable, right?
For how long is the video? I think there'd be a point where I would start to tap out. You know. That is the thing.
You'd have to be savvy. You'd have to maybe chop it up with like bits from yourself in your own language, like and somehow make it so that it's not like a 2-minute segment of subtitled conversation. But yeah, I'm hoping there's going to be a future soon where there are good enough AIs to do translations of languages. It's kind of almost there already on YouTube, I think.
New Kinda is back. My language skills are pretty basic, I guess, but I am interested in keeping or to make content in English. Any thoughts? Again, we don't really know your niche or anything, so it's a bit hard to answer. Make content, I say, for the language you're most comfortable speaking, video after video after video, and understand, just like the last comment we were answering, like you're going to attract an audience that speaks that language, and so you kind of go into it with a plan.
Yeah.
So yeah,
there are many creators in the past who've wanted to try and break into the English-speaking market because it's just a big audience on YouTube, but that also means that it's very competitive. And if you are a speaker of another language, if English is not your first language, and it's tricky, that can be off-putting for native listeners. But then there are other creators who use that as a power, like they speak like a somewhat unusual accent, but they're still pretty fluent or have that quirkiness to them, and it kind of can become their own branding on the channel. But you know, typically I would say for a lot of creators, there's probably less competition in your native language and you're kind of missing out on that opportunity. Might be a smaller pond, but there's less fish in that pond competing against you. Try and find that out through research.
Papu wants us to add their name, but if you want to add your name to the list, you'll need to use the forms down below. But thank you for the super. Melted Cinema. Why do some YouTube videos have a delayed explosion in views? Where they're initially performing poorly, but then suddenly gain over 5,000 plus views after being relatively unnoticed for 60 days.
Timing. It's all about timing. I recently just had this happen to me. I put out a cake video about 3 or 4 weeks after the iPhone launch. Now, usually these videos do well at the time of launch, but I wasn't able to put it out to like 3 weeks after launch. But it did nothing when I initially put it out. But for whatever reason, over the next like 2 or 3 weeks, it started gaining views. I don't know why, but sometimes it's just all about timing and when people are interested in a particular topic or subject. So
there's also... Oh, go ahead.
No, Dan, you go first, please.
I was going to say, one thing I've noticed is that you can have a video, but it's kind of appealing to a different audience a little bit. And so it may not resonate with your initial audience, but it still gets a few impressions, and YouTube slowly kind of finds where it belongs and who it's for. And that I've seen that happen too.
I was roughly going to give you the same answer, so well done, Dan.
Get Real with Jay, I believe. New channel, 4th video coming up, weekly release. Views are abysmal. Too soon to think about switching release days. Right now, Sunday AM. Stay the course. I know it's a long game.
You're only 4 videos in. What are we talking about here? You don't even have enough data to make that type of decision, man. You gotta stay the course.
I wouldn't worry about the release day at all, honestly. It's really just a matter of packaging your videos, making sure they are bringing value to an audience, and just keep going. It really is, like you mentioned, it is the long game. But we saw a channel earlier that obviously has some experience, and they had 4 videos, and all the videos were performing exceptionally well with tens of thousands of views. So
unless your channel is for pastors and vicars who are very much working on a Sunday morning.
True.
So you may want to reschedule the videos in that case.
Saturday, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes. But listen, like it really is about like just experience on YouTube. That's the long game. It's not YouTube itself can be slow, but if you know what you're doing and you have experience built up already, things can start moving. Tayfi, something like that. I'm so happy and lucky to find that one-on-one coaching ad random on my Facebook. I feel like he's the best coach and opened up my third eye at this point.
Oh, it wasn't random. We found you out. I'd love to know who that coach is, but I don't want you to send us another super chat. But yeah, what I'm trying to do is whenever there's any lovely messages about coaching, I want to just throw them to our coaches.
Yeah,
who are fairly new, and like it's a real encouragement and inspiration for them to know that they're doing the right thing for their creators.
Thank you for sharing with us. Appreciate it. AI Speedy History, 7 days with 560 watch time, I guess hours, but suddenly no views. I think we did answer your question earlier about this, right? Or was a similar question about watch hours, no views?
The channel name is maybe a hint. How AI generated is the content. Maybe YouTube has decided that this is programmed content. Again, this is only a conspiracy theory, frontier gibberish from Rob, but is YouTube identifying 100% AI generated content and then maybe suppressing it? I don't know.
Yeah, it's difficult to say without looking at the channel.
And also, if it's also being created by AI, then somebody else could be doing it and is doing it a lot better than you. And so YouTube is now serving up that audience instead. Sorry to cut you off there, Donna.
That's right.
Final thought.
Melted Cinema's back, asking if 4,000 watch hours, the secret sauce to getting Matt, is live streaming.
Yes.
I'm going to say that helps.
Yeah.
But let's ask you this question, because we still can't figure this out, Viper.
Okay.
Does the watch hours from the live stream itself count towards watch time? Or is it just the hours from when it turns into a video on demand?
Both.
You reckon it's both?
I think it's both, to my understanding. Yes.
Because I'm still not 100% sure.
Yeah, I've had a lot of mixed, confusing results when I've done that, but it can be. But listen, if you don't enjoy live streaming, if your live stream is not engaging, if it's not bringing a lot of people in, then no, it's not the secret to getting 4,000 hours.
Like, and correct.
Make sure live streaming is right for you. Ask your audience if live streaming is right for you. Sorry, Nick Hine. It's me with the audiobook question. Just to make it clear, it's my own stories on the channel. Okay, cool. And it's actually very nicely. Thanks for the advice. Excellent. Cool. Appreciate you. I didn't want to make it sound like I was accusing you of anything. Just a general warning for anybody. But yes,
they've solved YouTube then because they're already a brilliant storyteller.
Yeah, they got that part down.
Yeah.
Cars with Chris gave us a super. My best videos are how to in the automotive field, but I do not enjoy making them. I want to post entertaining videos working on my personal car, but they bomb. Should I make how-tos or what I enjoy?
Oh, that is a challenge, isn't it? You're stuck in content that you don't enjoy making. So the question is, how can you transform your how-to content into stuff that creatively sustains you? So the packaging can be the how-to element, but the video itself contains all of the things that you love doing, but includes the educational aspect to it. You may be asking, how on earth do I do that? There are channels that are able to blend these two. I always think of Ed and Film Booth in our industry. He's not posting that much these days on his main channel, but he was able to blend entertainment and education into his content beautifully. And there's another channel of the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember who it is, who kind of embraces this as well, but it's not there. So I can't help you on that second channel.
I will add that if you want to make content about your own vehicle, it might be a packaging thing. And I'm not just talking about title and thumbnail too. I'm talking about the idea itself. Like, yes, it'd be great if you could just turn your camera and tinker in your car, but you got to give a little bit more on YouTube if you want to do entertainment style content. So you need to turn those videos into an event somehow. And I can sit here and give you gaming examples all day long about how maybe it's a challenge. Maybe it's you work in your car for 100 days trying to reach like a certain goal or something. But it's kind of gonna come down to you and the research that you do for what kind of event you can do. But you need to make that content a little more exciting on the surface. And you might have to present it in a way that's a little bit uncomfortable and a little bit outside your comfort zone. But the result should be a lot more views than what you're seeing now on that content, because the video will have a much more specific focus and purpose. And it doesn't have to be a how-to video. It can be entertainment, but it still has to have some work that goes into it on the back end, some kind of script or some kind of idea that would be unusual if you were alone in your garage without a camera. You know what I mean? So that's my advice. Nothing to add. I'll jump to the next one. So Cloud9 Tech is a new member, but then also gave us 5 gifted memberships.
Boom. Nice.
So thank you so much, and enjoy your emotes, everybody. Sam Cakes Craft. Shout out to my channel check.
Sam's Cakes Craft. Consider that a shout out.
We did it. Philo Rogue is back.
Dan's cats also arrived.
Yes. Thank you all. I've grown so much watching you guys. Question: my following on TikTok is about 4 times my YouTube subs. How do I migrate them to YouTube?
That's gonna be hard, man. The people that are on TikTok, they are on TikTok for a reason. Now, obviously, we have YouTube Shorts. So if you do YouTube Shorts, you might be able to kind of funnel them that way. But if you have people that are watching long form videos on YouTube, and you have the TikTok people that are watching short form, those are 2 different audiences, and they might not want to coexist. So you might have trouble with that.
Rob, can I pass it to you for just a couple minutes?
Oh, yes, certainly. Certainly. Okay.
Right, we got to take the kitty's need.
All right. So the next super chat is from Borat. Really? Is it? Your app is amazing. I've gained 6 subs in 10 days, which is huge for me. Wishing you all the best and thank you for all of the info. Keep grinding on. I assume, Borat, that you're going through the lessons in the app, which are phenomenal. If you're a brand new creator and you want to get an idea of your target audience and how to start thinking about good ideas for your content, then definitely download the app because there's like tons of free lessons.
So I just noticed that behind Rob, there's a living meme of him going like throughout his entire life.
It's been going on for 2 hours. It's been going on for 2 hours. But yes, what's the next one? We got a super chat here from 8 Little Bears. Thank you for the £1.99 there. And also a super chat from Stallion GD. How to boost RPM for gaming channels. My friends get $4 while I get 2. We get the same average view duration. So, it doesn't really have anything to do with average view duration. It's more to do with, first of all, the game. Well, not first of all. It has to do with the game you're covering. It also has to do with your audience. It also has to do with what location your audience is watching from. It also has to do with the time of the year. So typically your CPMs will likely go up a little bit in the next month or 2. And also, RPMs are not just about ad revenue. They're about super chats, super thanks. So those friends of yours may be getting more donations through that. But I sense, Viper, you've got more to add to this.
No, I thought it was basically about advertisements and different things like that. I had no idea it was linked to super chats and stuff. Interesting.
So RPM includes, when you look at that in the ad revenue, in the revenue section of YouTube, RPM does include all of the YouTube modes of income.
Okay.
So it's unlikely that it's making a difference, but there is a distinction between RPM and CPM.
Nice.
I think we've done videos on this. Type vidIQ CPM, and you should get an explainer video on the differences in money earned.
So we have we have a whole bunch of super chats. We can't even keep up with them. There's a point now where if you give us a super chat, we may not be able to get to it. We'll try and get to these really quick.
No more super chats. Stop giving us money.
Yes, stop it. SD Adventures or SD Ventures, how well do you think theme park channels do? I've seen some excellent theme park channels.
I mean, to be honest, you just want to put, like, how well do you think blank channels do on YouTube? Because they all perform in exactly the same way, given the talent of the creator to identify the target audience, package the videos rightly, and execute on the content for that audience. I would say we've audited quite a lot of theme park channels in our time here, Dan. So it's quite a competitive aspect of YouTube. So you need to find a unique approach to it to set yourself beyond other creators.
Dandy Production 360 gave us a super sticker. Appreciate you. Luca Edits gave us super. Appreciate you. Like Watt EVs. Does posting more videos equal YouTube pushing videos? Well, sorta. I mean, think of it this way. Every new video you publish on YouTube is a new entry point for a new viewer. And that entry point can open them up to watching more of your videos. So every new video you publish could potentially become a funnel that gets new people to your channel and gets them psyched to watch your content and watching more of your videos. And then they get into the door and then it's revolving and they can't get out and you've trapped them forever. Every video can do that for your channel. So sort of.
Well, whereas other channels like Mark Rober don't publish for months, but they can afford to do that because they've got a huge audience and they can't be replaced by anyone else. So viewers will wait for their next video.
That is true as well. You don't need to publish. Like, those videos should be high quality so people do stick around and then they want to see more from you as well. Captain Meatball. Love the name. Big fan. I'm writing this after your talk about Jay's Super. I am a few videos in. I'm thinking about making the switch from daily to bi-weekly. I think you should make that switch.
Yeah, I would not recommend anybody upload daily unless you really are on that grind and that's what you want to do. But yeah, uploading daily is that's a long haul.
Do you know which video they're talking about, Dan?
I don't.
Okay.
But
was it one of our interviews with a creator who switched from daily videos to weekly content?
I thought it was a super chat from earlier. We just don't have it up anymore.
Oh, okay, right. I'm with you.
Yeah, I think you should make that switch if it means higher quality videos, just because, I mean, your mental health is in better shape. You have more time to yourself. Yeah, absolutely. Get real with Jay. Is this the same? I don't know. This is an extra bump for answering my question. It was more reassurance. You guys are the best. Totally will stay with the course. Thank you so much. Or we'll stay the course. Got it. J Money Crypto. Rebecca, been great coach. Broke 500 subscribers.
Let me screenshot that, Dan. Okay, got that. Right, I'll send it to
Rebecca.
our coaches.
Rebecca's awesome. Glad she's helping you out.
Teffi, his name is Paul. He's amazing. The channel is helping me with is growing better. Oh, okay. Paul is their coach, I believe. Or 1,000 hours getting subs every hour or two. I believe this is a coaching comment. So like we'll get a super, and then I don't know about you guys, but my brain doesn't retain information for very long. So I keep like we'll get follow-ups, and I'm not sure. I'm having to rack my brain trying to think. Wait, who was this?
Who's Paul?
Sorry.
Does Paul work here?
Who's Paul?
Okay, go.
Frame Rate Studio. What is the difference between putting hashtags in the description and putting them in the tags section when posting a video?
Just don't worry about that.
I wouldn't worry about it at all. But yes, the difference is hashtags categorize videos differently. Tags are a totally different thing for metadata. Neither of which you need anymore on YouTube. Let's be honest.
Focus on your thumbnails and titles.
Yep.
New kinda. Okay, back again. So as my niche, I've picked gift giving ideas for desperate people or of desperate people. Wait, what? Even on a budget. Opinions? How sustainable can that be for a long period? Wait,
I think he said his English wasn't his first language, so there's probably something lost in translation there. Not desperate people, maybe people who have challenges, like they have a very small budget, so they can only afford a certain item. So not desperate in that sense.
Yeah. Basically, buying gifts on a budget is kind of the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That has legs, and it has a lot of legs right now as we're moving into the gift buying season. Yeah. So, like, you could do all sorts of listicles, like the 5 best things to buy for Thanksgiving for my dad, 5 best things to buy for Thanksgiving for my best friend. Like, there's tons of ideas. Like, you just need to spend a day listing out all of these ideas and then start making the content.
Has artificial intelligence already outsmarted us?
Yes.
I don't know. It depends on your what categories of artificial intelligence you're talking about, because I've definitely had some very interesting moments with AI that has not impressed me. Journo mode. My latest video was uploaded on Sunday, and it got 50 views and then tailed off. Bar changing title and thumbnail. Are there ways to prove its reach?
Well, so no, I mean the main way is title and thumbnail.
Topic, but that you can't really do anything about that if the video's done.
Yeah, it could be the idea which just wasn't good in the first place. How many views do you typically get? Because like if you typically get between 50 and 100 views, then it's worked to average. Let's move on to the next video.
See, this is why. Oh, go ahead, Dan.
I was gonna say we gotta move on to the next super. Despite us telling people they might not get their supers read, they're still sending them in.
Yeah, stop doing it. Stop
it. Is allowing remixes of your videos a good idea? I think so. I don't think it hurts.
Yeah. I think all of the views are attributed back to you in some way anyway, so YouTube can track all of that stuff.
I'll answer this one quickly here. They're working really hard on creating original content, and they're trying to upload 1 video a day, but they're barely getting 1 view. Yes, I can help you with this. Stop uploading 1 video a day. Focus on quality for a bit. It's okay. If you post once a month, it's okay. Like, just try to focus on the ideas first, and the titles and the thumbnails and the quality of your content. When I say quality, I don't mean editing. I mean quality of your ideas. Where's Vicky to read all the super chats?
That's a good question. Is she in the chat?
She is. She's out there.
Yeah, we need Vicky on. So that is a big inside joke. But hello, Vicky. You all right? Awesome.
If I change my main game genre, will that negatively affect my channel algorithm? Don't think about algorithm, think about the viewers who watch your content. Do the viewers who watch your content like the game you're switching to? If the answer is no, then yes, it will impact your reach for a bit. But if you stick to that pivot, maybe you'll get some new viewers.
It sounded funny when you said that, Dan. If the answer is no, then yes.
Michelle, thank you for the super. Mental Health Mondays. David is an awesome coach. He's been very helpful and quick to answer. I've doubled my subs. Doubled their subs since working with David, our one-on-one coach.
I mean, this is cool in that our own super chats are paying themselves to advertise one-on-one coaching. Like this is brilliant work. Why don't we just sit here with our feet up and get people to send in super chats of how awesome one-to-one coaching is?
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
I mean, we don't want more super chats, but if you're gonna talk us up, then we'll take it.
You can talk Dan and me down as much as you want. I'm up for that.
I have 100 million plus views on TikTok comedy channel and want to use those old shorts to boost my new long form documentary channel on YouTube. Is that a bad idea?
I don't think so. As long as they, as we say, get rid of that watermark if you're going to put it on YouTube as a short.
Comedy shorts, long form documentaries, are they funny documentaries?
Yeah.
I feel like you might get a good shorts channel going, but will people translate to the documentaries unless they're very similar? Probably not.
I'm not sure about that one.
So I wouldn't get your hopes up, but you should still do your long form documentary channel is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I also think this person should do a live stream on like helping TikTokers get viral videos. If they've had 100 million views on a single TikTok. But we've never done that. Well done.
Yeah. Michelle, if what you said about tags is true, why is it in the app? Because
that's a jolly good question, YouTube, right?
Yeah.
You had an opportunity 3 years ago when you changed from the classic studio to a new studio to just get rid of tags.
Yes.
But you decided to leave them in.
I think tag can still help new channels find their traction. Like if you're an established channel, then probably not so much anymore. But new channels, I think tag can still help you.
Tags help me mentally understand like what people are typing into search. I like them for that reason. Our vidIQ tool helps with that. I don't want to spend more than 5 minutes on tags, and that's already a long time. Like our tool can help just bang those out really quick, and then maybe you'll think of some keywords that you didn't think of before. Oh, this is what people are typing into search to find this. They can be really helpful as a research tool, but for getting traction on your video, they're not some magic bullet like they used to be. And then the last super chat we're going to look at, please no more. Can you do a video on how your backdrop can affect your content and how to make your backdrop interesting for videos and live streams? Were we doing a video like this?
Where is Ben Johnson when you need him?
John was thinking of doing one, I think, about how AI can be used to create backdrops, but I think we were beaten to that game, really. Like Nick and Eamon did a really good one. A few have done some videos. So I would recommend watching those at first. This is just like an experience thing. Like half the time I've just watched other videos and thought, yeah, I like this. I'm going to buy one, and then realize it takes forever to change around the words. So I'm not going to do that again. I saw this on another channel. I thought, yeah, I'm going to buy that. And then I saw this on another channel. I thought, yeah, I'm going to buy that.
And if you don't want to buy too much stuff, you can go to Viper Route and use the green screen and do that.
Yeah. I'm forgetting how I should say all of these have affiliate links somewhere. So please do make those purchases from me.
All right. What do you think? One more channel?
Go on. Sure. Yeah.
Or should we do 10 more channels?
Whoa.
Well, you know, people might be leaving if their channel doesn't get picked. Maybe we'll do 10 more. You don't know now. Now you're like, wait.
I see what you're saying, Dan. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
We'll do a gaming channel.
He's only doing one more channel.
No. We might do 10, guys. We're going to do a gaming channel. And maybe we'll do like 5 non-gaming after this. Who knows?
The CLAAAW, man.
It was very early for the claw sound effect. 176.
Yeah, I'll do it again.
It's way late now. All right. Rob Crane 17, EA Sports, FC 24. I don't know what that is.
This is probably one for me to take on. It's FIFA.
Yep.
Now otherwise known as
why did they rename
FC that? 20? Because they don't have the license anymore. FIFA and EA Sports split.
Damn.
Okay, so I would say these are objectively striking thumbnails. They very much fit the theme of the cards, I think. Is it like FC Tops? The card game in FIFA or FC, I think. It does mean that you're probably quite similar to other creators who do these types of videos with a similar thumbnail. I would like to see a different facial reaction because it looks like you took one selfie of yourself with like semi-shocked look and you're repeatedly using it. But, you know, that's fine. I don't think that's going to get you tons more views. These are minor corrections. View counts are pretty good and consistent. What's the channel size at the moment, Dan? Because we're in the several hundreds with several hundred subscribers. So I think all of that is good. And you are kind of trying to give off that FOMO essence in your titles. You're capitalizing all of your words. maybe we'd like to see a bit more balance in the titles, but maybe that's what your audience prefers, these capitalizations. So I think fundamentally everything this channel is doing is on the right path. They're just in a very competitive space that we talked about a little bit previously. So what's going to make them unique? I don't personally know, but I think that's your challenge.
I don't know how these...
There's that one glitched one which has more views than anything else. So, like, again, finding a glitch, an exploit in a game, as long as it isn't illegal, it's something you can explore a little bit more.
Also, you might want to investigate a little different variety in your title. You keep going with the "you won't believe this," blah blah blah. I don't know how much that's going to work for you.
Well, here's the thing. That's an interesting point, Viper. But I think there are occasions when you do latch onto a specific title, and you're a smaller channel, actually recycling it and just like, you won't believe this blank pack is not a bad idea. There's this particular creator in the tech niche. I think it's called Matt Talks Tech. Dan, if you just want to search for him, I think it's this guy. It's the Apple news update person. And he has been for the past like 3 or 4 years, blank release date and price. And that was his title for everything, whether it be the AirPods, MacBook, and he just built up a channel with that titling structure. So I think there are exceptions to the rule, Viper, when like you can just recycle that title over and over again.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? 9 more channels?
Well, haven't you got anything? There was a gaming channel there, Dan. Have you got nothing to add to the FIFA channel?
I mean, let me get back to it.
Did you agree with everything I said then?
One thing, the glitch thumbnail and title inspired for me was like, how much do these cost in terms of real money or credits or whatever the currency they charge? Like,
okay, yeah, fair point.
You talk about like, you won't believe this or that. Like, well, you won't believe how badly I got ripped off. What about that? Like, do you ever spend money on this and like it doesn't play out? You know, you could tell some more stories in that sense.
Interesting.
But I don't know this niche at all. So
sure.
Do look at other channels, see what's going on. But yeah, that'd be my take.
My guess is there's probably a free-to-play, enormous grinding version of it.
Could be tips for maximizing that currency as well.
Yeah.
Could be some videos as well. All right. Well, there you go. I lied to you. We're only doing 1.
I did tell you all.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. We'll be back next week with more channel reviews. We got videos coming out throughout the week. Short, long, all that stuff.
I just want to give a huge shout out to 9 Finger Wrenching, J Money Crypto, Tifi, and Severlight Gaming, who all like gave shout outs to their new coaches, one-on-one coaches here at vidIQ. Like, awesome. It's fantastic to hear that it's what you wanted and it's making an impact on your YouTube journey. So for anyone else who wants to get their own coach, link is in the description, right, Dan? Head on over.
Indeed. Yes, it is. Top of the description. Viper, where can people find you?
Man, just type in "the man about tech" everywhere. You'll find Viper.
What about how's Tube Talk doing?
Tube Talk is doing good. You can look up Tube Talk too. Find me there as well.
All right. Cool. All right, everybody. Well, thank you. I found the outro video, so we can go. You can all leave. Goodbye.